Okay, it looks like it's working. So this is page 142. It's the quiz 3.3 and 3.4. So the first couple problems, they're asking you to tell which property this or these two problems illustrates. And so notice that they tell you where you can go back to. So if you go back to section 3.3, you'll see lots of examples, and I'll let you guys figure out number 1 and number 2. And then for number 3, it says simplify the expression, and it says explain each step. I just want you to do that for number 4. So I'm just going to circle number 4 here. Well, I'm going to talk about it, and if you be patient, you'll know. Okay? So first off, I'm going to give you an example of how to do 3 and 4 just for starters. Now, notice for number 4 here, they've got 6 and then times, and then in parentheses 10 times k. Another way you could have written that, it would have been 6 and then just next to the parentheses 10 times k. And you would do those the same way. Just remember that when you have a number next to the parentheses, it does mean multiplication. And so if you were just to simplify these expressions, let me do one that's very similar to 3 and 4. Well, actually, it's pretty close to what 4 is. So for this example right here, we know that I would just multiply 12 times 10 and 12 times x. But notice it's not addition, it's multiplication, so I need to do what's in the parentheses first. So I could do my first step here, and if I do what's in the parentheses first, what's 10 times x? 10x. And then I could put that in parentheses, and I could put the 12 outside the parentheses. Now, what's 12 times 10?
120.
120. And there's an x involved, so it's 120x. All done. So, if I said to explain each step for this one, and I want you to do this for number 4, but for the one that I just gave you an example of, if I said explain each step, step number 1 would be what? Do the parentheses first. Sorry for my writing here. Number 2, then multiply the 12 by what's in the parentheses.
So we write it out like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's all you're doing. You're just writing it out. You're just writing out the steps that most of you, I think, know how to do. And so, I mean, for what I just wrote down, it's just basically 2 steps. It's pretty easy. Some problems, they might, and I don't think it is in the case with this one, with what you're doing today, they might make them more complicated where you might have to write down maybe 3 or 4 steps. But that's exactly what you're doing, Mr. Conyers. You're just writing down what you automatically do. And I do want you to do that for number 4. So questions on that, you guys?
Will we do it for number 3?
Nope, just number 4. Okay. Questions? Nope. Okay. All right. Next one, it says use a distributive property in mental math to find the product. Well, let me make one up here. How about if I did 5 times, I don't know, how about 36? So if I was to use the distributive property, that really means the same thing as 5 times 30 plus 5 times 6. So if I was to look at 5 times 30, what's 5 times 3 equal?
15.
15. And then I just add the 0, so that's 150. That's easy. And then what's 5 times 6?
30.
Plus 30, and so it equals 180. So some of these you could just kind of do in your head.
You even have
No, I'm not worried about using the distributive property, but here's what I do want you to do is, for example, let me just put another one. Let's say if it was 6 times, I don't know, 12. Let's say that was one of the two problems here. I just want you to write 6 times 10 plus 6 times 2.
What? Oh, for the answer.
That would be the answer I'd be looking for, because that's really using the distributive property. But when you do mental math, it may take you a little bit longer, but it'll become automatic, and you'll start breaking the problems down into chunks that are easier for you to manage. I mean, a lot of you don't know what 6 times 12 is, right? But everybody knows what 6 times 10 is. What is it? 60. And everybody here should know what 6 times 2 is. What? 12. What's 60 plus 12? 72. Okay? So you can do that with smaller numbers, and you can do that with larger numbers. It's pretty easier to do. So anyways, I just want you to break it down into the first step. In fact, I'll even just write, I'll put that down. Write the first, just like I said there. Okay. All right. Number 7 and 8. It says use the distributive properties to simplify the expression. You guys know how to do that. So let's use the distributive property in this one right here to simplify the expression. All right. Let me see here. Let me pull a stick. This is the one I'm talking about right here, which is a lot harder than either one that they give you in the book. Miss Harley, what's the first thing I do?
Solve what's in the parentheses.
Right, could do that, and that's a good statement. Solve what's in the parentheses first. So let's look at this. Can we do anything within the parentheses? Do we have any like terms that we can combine? Or no, not really, huh? So that first step is taken care of, and that was good that you pointed that out. I was even jumping ahead of you. So since we can't do anything else in the parentheses, what's the next thing we do?
5 times 2x.
Yeah, so 5 times 2x is what?
10x.
10x minus, what's 5 times 3?
3 is 15.
Plus, what's 5 times 5? Or 5 times 5z? 25z. So what have we done? We've used the distributive property, and there's still nothing that we can combine, so that's it, we're done. And of course, the 2 that they've given you is a lot harder than, or a lot easier than the one we just did. Okay, questions on that, anybody? No? Okay, all right. What's the next one? Simplify the expression. These right here. Okay? Well, here's one. That's a lot harder than what they gave you. You guys should be able to simplify that expression. Oh, Miss Harley, put up 20 points. Miss Scott's not here. Mr. Salcedo, do you see any like terms in this expression?
2x
Okay?
times 12x.
Well, 2x and 12x are like terms. Do you see any other terms that have an x in them?
2x.
Yeah, another 2x. Okay, good. Nicely done. So Mr. Salcedo pointed out the like terms for the x's. So let me pull up, so put up 20 points. Miss Russell, what's 2x plus 12x?
14x.
And what's 14x minus 2x?
12x.
Okay, so 12x. Okay. Now, put up 20 points. Mr. Rainbolt, do you see any other like terms that we could combine?
3b and 1b.
3b, and 1b. So what's 3b minus 1b?
2B.
So I'll put a plus 2b. Nicely done.
And the rest are
Put up
just
20
constants.
points. All right, let me see here. I'll use purple. Put up 20 points. Miss Sensor, do you see any other like terms that we can deal with? Do you see any other numbers with a variable, honey? With a letter? No. So what's left?
3,
3. Okay, what else?
12, and 5.
12 and 5. Okay, so the next question I would ask is, what's 3 plus 12 equal?
13.
No.
No. 15.
15, good. What's 15 minus 5?
10.
Okay, so you guys let her figure it out. Okay, good. 10. So I would just put plus 10. There we are, all done. So combining like terms, and what they gave you is really easy. Okay, questions on that, anybody?
No.
All right, moving up a little bit here. So then,
Just simple.
let's see here. Factor the expression using the greatest common factor. You guys should know how to do those by now. I'm not going to worry about those. 13, it says geometry, the expression, and they've got it here, 8 plus 7 plus, and then in parentheses, 18 plus 2x, and then outside the parentheses, plus 7, represents the perimeter of the trapezoid. Simplify the expression. In your workbook, we did something similar, but here's one that's like it, but it's even more complicated. So let's do that one together. Let me erase these so I have some room to work. Okay. So perimeter, let me pull a stick here. What if you had to solve for the perimeter, Mr. Lesueur, for something, what does that mean? If you solve for, you just add up all the sides. Okay, so Mr. Lesueur, start with the 3b. I'll just put it right here, 3b plus what? Give me another side.
2,
Okay, 3b is going counterclockwise. 2 plus what?
Another 2.
Okay, we'll just go in order here. So what's the next one?
6y plus 3.
6y plus 3. Okay,
Then plus 2.
and then plus 2.
Then plus 5y plus 10.
5y plus 10. All done. Now, Mr. Lesueur, we'll keep going. Do you see any like terms?
6y and 5y.
6y and 5y, which is what?
11.
11y. You see any other like terms?
2, 3, 5, and 10.
A 2, a 3, a 2, and the 10. Okay, what would that be?
17.
Plus 17. Any other like terms?
Then you just add the 3b.
Yeah, so we would just add the 3b plus 3b. Now, we can't do anything else with that. 17's by itself. It's a constant. And then these both have different variables. We can't do anything with those. So that would be the perimeter of this figure. That's all you're doing. Okay? All right. And then, put up 20 points. So let's see here. 14. 15 I wanted to go over. So this is similar to 15, what I'm doing right here. It says the length of a rectangle is 16 inches. So I made one up and I just made it 5 inches. And then it says the area is 32x plus 48. Well, I just put 25y plus 10. I just made one up. So it says factor the expression for the area write the expression for the width. So you need to figure out, we've got the area and we've got this side right there. So what we're trying to figure out is this length right there. All right?
Say 2.
So the first thing I'm going to ask myself, I'm going to put in parentheses here. What times 5 equals 25?
5.
And what variable is there?
Y.
And then it's a plus. And then what times 5 equals 10?
2.
And so I'll put a 2 right there. Now let's make sure we got it right. Let's take a look here. Let's use the distributive property. What's 5 times 5y? 25y. What's 5 times 2?
10.
Did these match?
Yeah.
We got it. So what that would mean is this side right here would be 5y plus 2. Because remember that the area, that's this, okay, which they gave us, is that the two sides times one another, length times width. Okay, kind of complicated, but if you go back to this video and watch it again, I think you'll understand. And we've done a couple problems like that. So 15, I want you to do. So I want you to do all these problems on what is this? The quiz 3.3 and 3.4.
Wait, did we do 14A and B?
Yeah, I want you to do. Well, let me look here. Do we do 14A and B? Let me see here. 14. Let's see here. You and your 4 friends go to a movie to each buy popcorn. So they give you the information you need right there. Use the distributive property to write an expression for the total cost to buy a movie, tickets, and popcorn. Okay. So it's going to be 5 times something in parentheses. So I'll give you a hand there because it's you and 4 friends.
You're stupid.
So you can do A, and then choose a reasonable value for X. Evaluate the expression. Give it a shot. See if you can do them. I may not count that one tomorrow, or maybe I'll make it worth a stick. I'm not sure yet. Okay?
But it won't be like. Make a homework help and put B as a